But, habit and experiment. So this is the habit.
Hey there. Great to have you here. What's on your mind today?
Discussion how to develop a daily habit and expand them. In this regard, my first question, why is developing a daily habit important in today's world?
That owns the internet and all kinds of digital tools. Digital literacy is still super important because even with access, not everyone knows how to use these tools safely, critically, or effectively. So it's kind of a foundation for making sure people can fully participate in society, right?
Second question, how can reading help expand your knowledge and perspective?
Absolutely. And I think that perspective is really valuable, especially when you think about things like digital inclusion or even just being able to navigate misinformation. So, by improving digital literacy, we're not just keeping up with tech, we're empowering people to think critically and make informed decisions in a digital world.
What are the biggest obstacles that prevent people from reading regularly?
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, things like lack of access, both to devices and reliable internet, can really be a huge barrier. And, even things like a lack of time or maybe not having supportive environments like at school or work can also keep people from building those skills. So it's kind of a mix of infrastructure and also just supportive learning spaces.
Uh, how can beginners start building a daily reading habit?
Exactly. And I think that's why it's so important to have both broad policy efforts, like making internet access more equitable, and on the ground support, like training programs or mentorship. That way, people have both the tools and the confidence to really thrive in a digital world.
Next question is why is consistency more important than reading
Ah,
for minutes?
no worries. Yeah, that's a great point. Consistency is really key. So, even if someone gains access or starts learning, sticking with it, building habits, and getting regular practice, that's what really helps them grow those digital skills long term. So, it's all about those steady, repeated efforts.
How does reading improve critical thinking skills?
Yeah, definitely. Critical thinking is huge in the digital space. It's not just about knowing how to use a tool, but being able to evaluate sources, recognize bias, and ask smart questions. So when we pair digital literacy with critical thinking, people can really navigate this complex digital world thoughtfully and confidently.
What types of books are best for developing a reading habit? What types of books are best
Of
for developing a reading habit?
got it. Yeah, that's a great focus. So when people develop healthy reading habits, like making time every day, choosing a variety of sources, and staying curious, that's when they really start to engage deeply with information and grow their critical thinking. So it's all about those small, consistent habits over time.
Okay. How can setting reading goals increase motivation?
Yeah, exactly. And I think once those habits form, it becomes kind of a virtuous cycle. More reading, better skills, more confidence, and that curiosity just keeps growing. So it's definitely a long term investment that pays off.
Why should people create a dedicated reading space?
Oh, that's a great point. A dedicated reading space really minimizes distractions so people can fully focus, get immersed in the material, and build that reading habit. Plus, it kind of signals that reading is special. It's a ritual, a time for personal growth. So that can be really motivating.
How can technology help or hinder?
Absolutely. And it also helps create a sense of routine, like having a place where you always come back to read, maybe even at a certain time. So it becomes part of your day, part of your rhythm, and that consistency just really reinforces the habit.
What are the benefits of reading physical books versus e-books?
Oh, yeah, that's a really important benefit. A physical space can create a kind of mental separation from all the digital noise. So when you go there, your brain kind of switches into a different mode. Like you're more present, more focused on the book, and you get that deeper, calmer reading experience.
How can reading reduce stress and improve mental well-being?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that kind of intentional space also lets people slow down. They're not just skimming or multitasking, they're really absorbing the material, which is so valuable in the long run.
Why is it important to choose books that match your interests?
Ah, yeah, that's key. When you choose books that genuinely spark your curiosity, you're more likely to stick with them, stay engaged, and enjoy the process. And that intrinsic motivation is what really fuels long term reading habits and growth.
How can reading biographies inspire personal growth?
Yeah, exactly. So when you're genuinely excited about what you're reading, it doesn't feel like a chore. Instead, it feels energizing. So you naturally spend more time, think more deeply, and just enjoy that journey of discovery.
Uh, what can we learn from reading about different cultures?
Ah, that's a great angle. When you read widely, especially across different cultures, it really broadens your perspective. You start to understand different ways of life, different viewpoints, and it just deepens your empathy and understanding of the world.
How does reading fiction improve empathy and imagination?
Oh, absolutely. Fiction is such a powerful tool for that. It lets you step into other people's shoes, see the world through their eyes, and it sparks your creativity so you can imagine new possibilities that you might never have considered before.
Why is reading considered a lifelong learning tool?
Yeah, for sure. Fiction can really offer these big picture perspectives. It can help you reflect on your own life, values, and even guide you to new insights about your purpose. So it's not just entertainment, it can be really transformational.
How can parents encourage children to develop reading habits?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's really about making it part of your daily routine, like setting aside a specific time, creating a comfy space, and choosing books that truly spark your interest. Over time, those small, consistent actions really add up.
Okay. What are the benefits of joining a book club?
Oh, definitely. A good book club creates this sense of community. You have other people to share perspectives with, talk about the themes, and even discover books you might never have picked up on your own. Plus, it adds a bit of accountability, so you're more likely to stick with reading and finish those books.
Okay. How can reading help improve vocabulary? Do you understand my question?
You're welcome. I'm really glad it resonated. If you ever want to chat more about reading, book recommendations, or anything else, I'm here.
My question is, how can reading help improve vocabulary?
Ah, that's a great question. So, reading can really boost your vocabulary, comprehension, and even your ability to focus. As you get exposed to different ideas and ways of thinking, it helps you process information more effectively. So, it's kind of like a workout for your brain.
Okay. Why do some people struggle to finish books?
Yeah, that's a common struggle. I think it really helps to set small, achievable goals, like reading just a few pages a day, or even joining a book club for that extra motivation. And if a book really isn't clicking, it's totally fine to put it down and find one that excites you more.
How can audiobooks support a reading habit?
Yeah, exactly. The idea is to keep it positive and flexible, just making reading a regular part of your day without the pressure. And over time, those small habits really do build up.
What strategies can help someone read more consistently?
That's a great question. So, a few strategies could be setting a specific time each day, like right after breakfast or before bed, choosing shorter, more manageable books, or even using an app or a reading tracker to keep yourself accountable. And of course, making sure you choose books you really connect with. That keeps you coming back.
Yeah. And how does reading influence creativity?
Oh, absolutely. Reading exposes you to all these different worlds, perspectives, and ideas, and that stirs up your imagination. So it's like fuel for your creativity. You see new possibilities, you get inspired by different styles, and you bring that fresh thinking into your own work.
Why is reading important for students and professionals?
Oh, definitely. For students, reading is crucial for building knowledge, comprehension, and critical thinking. And for professionals, it's just as important, whether it's staying up to date in your field, expanding your skills, or even sparking new ideas for innovation. So it's really a lifelong advantage.
Okay. How can keeping a reading journal enhance learning? How can keeping a reading journal enhance learning?
Oh, absolutely. Reading journal is a great tool. It helps you reflect on what you've read, track your thoughts, and even make connections between different books. So it really deepens that understanding and keeps you engaged in the process.
How are the advantages of reading a variety of genres?
Yeah, that's a big one. When you read a variety of genres, you kind of broaden your horizons. You pick up different writing styles, different perspectives, and you get more adaptable in how you think. Plus, it keeps reading fresh and exciting, so you never get bored.
How can reading help develop emotional intelligence?
Oh, definitely. And by mixing genres, you can spark new creativity, deepen empathy for different experiences, and just stay curious. So it's really a pathway to lifelong learning and personal growth.
Why is it important to limit distraction while reading?
Oh, for sure. When you limit distractions like turning off notifications or setting a quiet space, it really helps you stay focused. And that focus is what lets you dive deeper into the story or the ideas, so you get a really rich reading experience.
Okay. How can social media affect the reading habits?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're constantly checking devices or switching tasks, it breaks your focus and makes it harder to get into a reading flow. So, by cutting down screen time or setting tech boundaries, you protect that deep focus that reading really thrives on.
Okay. What role does discipline play in becoming
Yeah,
a regular
exactly.
reader?
Ah, yes. Regular reading really builds that discipline over time. When you make it a habit, like a set time or a consistent routine, it becomes a natural part of your day. And that discipline not only strengthens your reading habit, but also other areas of focus and consistency in life.
How can reading improve problem solving abilities?
Yeah, absolutely. When you read, especially diverse materials, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, or even complex topics, you're exposed to different ways of thinking and problem solving. So it really trains your mind to make connections, think creatively, and tackle challenges from new angles.
Okay, why should readers occasionally challenge themselves with difficult books?
Ah, that's a great point. Challenging yourself with tougher books pushes your mental boundaries. You encounter new vocabulary, complex ideas, and different structures, and that keeps your brain flexible so you grow as a person and a thinker, not just a reader.
Okay, how can discussing books deepen
Yeah,
understanding?
right, exactly. By tackling those tougher reads, you really slow down and engage more deeply. You start to grasp nuanced ideas, and you gain a richer, more layered understanding. So it really broadens your intellectual horizons.
What lessons can be learned from historical books?
Oh, so many. Historical books give us insights into past decisions, human behavior, and how societies evolved. They help us see patterns, avoid past mistakes, and understand how different contexts shape the world today. So there's a ton of wisdom we can carry forward.
How does reading contribute to personal confidence?
Oh, absolutely. When you understand history, you see how people overcame challenges and made an impact. That sense of perspective can be really empowering. It reminds you that you too can navigate challenges, learn from the past, and shape your own future.
Why is reading often linked to successful leadership?
Oh, definitely. When leaders study history, they see examples of effective decision making, ethical dilemmas, and how different leadership styles worked in the past. So they can draw on those lessons to inspire trust, make wiser choices, and lead with confidence.
Okay. How can busy people make time for reading? How can busy people
Yeah,
make
exactly. So history gives leaders a kind of roadmap. They can
how
anticipate
can
potential pitfalls, adapt strategies that worked before, and stay grounded in long term vision. So it's a real compass for success.
how can busy people make time for reading?
Yeah, that's so important. Even just setting aside a short, regular window each day, like 20 or 30 minutes, can make a huge difference. And once it's part of your routine, it just becomes second nature, and that reading habit sticks.
What are the benefits of reading before bedtime?
Oh, for sure. I mean, reading opens up new perspectives, boosts empathy, sharpens your critical thinking, and honestly, it's just a great escape. So, by building that reading habit, you really enrich your life in all kinds of ways.
Okay, how can reading help you become a better writer?
Of course. If anything else pops into your mind about reading or any other habits you're building, I'm here to help or brainstorm with you.
Okay, why is quality reading material important?
Ah, that's a great point. Quality reading material really shapes how deeply you engage with ideas. It gives you accurate information, diverse perspectives, and more thoughtful content. So it really elevates your learning and critical thinking.
How can reading broaden career opportunities?
Exactly. And when you focus on quality, it also opens up new opportunities. You might discover new interests, deeper insights, or even be inspired to take action or apply what you've learned in your own life.
What are some common myths about reading habits?
Yeah, definitely. One common myth is that you have to read for hours every day to build a habit, but even short, consistent reading sessions can make a big difference. Another myth is that reading has to be serious or educational, but really any reading you enjoy can help build that positive habit.
How can reading important concentration and focus?
Yeah, exactly. And that's another big myth. Some people think reading has to be effortless from the start, but actually, the more you practice focusing during reading, the better your concentration gets overall. So it's a skill that grows with time.
Why should readers revisit books they enjoyed in the past?
Oh, definitely. Revisiting books you loved can be really powerful. You might notice new details, have a different perspective, or just reconnect with the comfort and insight that book gave you. So it's like a familiar journey with fresh eyes.
How can reading help people adapt to a changing world?
Absolutely. Reading exposes you to new ideas, technologies, and ways of thinking, so it keeps you adaptable. You see how others respond to change, and you're more prepared to navigate challenges yourself. It's like a toolkit for staying resilient.
What is the connection between reading and lifelong curiosity?
Yeah, they're really closely linked. When you read, you're constantly learning and expanding your worldview, and that curiosity drives lifelong learning, so you keep seeking out new skills, new knowledge, and stay engaged with the world around you.
How can setting a yearly reading challenge motivate readers?
Oh, absolutely. Having a clear, achievable goal, like a number of books or a certain genre, gives you that extra push. It keeps you accountable, it sparks excitement as you track progress, and it really turns reading into a fun, structured adventure.
Why is reading an investment in personal development?
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of goal setting isn't just for fun, it also gives you a sense of accomplishment. And that confidence boost can carry over into other professional or personal growth areas.
How can reading help individuals make better decisions?
Yeah, exactly. When you regularly read, you're exposed to different viewpoints, complex problems, and diverse experiences. That broadens your perspective. So when it comes time to make choices, you've got a richer base of knowledge and a more thoughtful approach.
What role does reflection play after reading a book?
That's a great point. Reflection is really key because it helps you internalize what you read. By thinking about how it applies to your life or your work, you connect the ideas to real action. So the reading has a lasting impact.
How can reading strengthen analytical thinking?
Absolutely. As you reflect, you analyze arguments, compare ideas, and evaluate evidence. That constant practice of breaking down what you read and questioning it really builds stronger analytical thinking skills that you can apply everywhere.
Why is it beneficial to read books with viewpoints different from your own?
Oh, that's a big one. When you read books with viewpoints different from your own, it broadens your perspective. You start to see the world in new ways, understand experiences you might not have encountered, and that empathy and openness really help you grow as a person.
Okay, how can reading help develop patience and discipline?
Exactly. Engaging with different viewpoints often takes patience. It means sitting with discomfort, really listening, and staying curious. And that kind of patience, along with discipline, really strengthens your ability to learn and grow in time.
What habits do successful readers commonly practice?
Yeah, they really do. Successful readers often have a daily routine, they set clear goals, and they're intentional about what they read. Plus, they reflect on what they learn and apply it, which keeps them growing continuously.
How can reading inspire positive life changes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you read about others' journeys, successes, and even challenges, it can spark something in you. It might give you a new vision, new habits, or that little nudge to take a bold step. So, reading really can be a catalyst for positive change.
Okay, what impact can a strong reading habit have on future success?
Oh, for sure. When you have a strong reading habit, you're constantly learning, staying curious, and building a kind of mental flexibility. And that adaptability, that lifelong learning, is often a huge driver behind long term success.
And my last question is, if you could recommend one book that changed your thinking, what would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a really tough one, but I think I'd say Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It completely shifted how I think about purpose and resilience. His reflections after surviving the Holocaust just give this profound perspective on finding meaning even in suffering. It really stayed with me.
ये था आज का हमारा डिस्कशन सेशन ChatGPT के साथ